What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to Old Ridge Farm and Farming Simulator 15. So you can see we're down here on Field 1 where the barley was planted, and I want to spread some muck over the top of this. You could probably see the muck on the road over there. Yeah, I was moving in the cab, and I brushed the hydraulic lever that opens the gate. So, you know, waste of muck, and I'm going to catch some hell for getting it on the road. And with things the way they're going around Old Ridge right now, everything is so tense due to this cult. Citizens for a Moral Britain or whatever. You know, the list keeps getting longer about people that are being added to it. Mrs. Crawford Brown and her cronies have completely lost their mind. If you guys watched Mike's video, Reefy 1952's video, you know that him and the vicar had a little talk down at the pub. I actually happened to be there when that was there, when they were having that talk. And you know, the vicar, you know, obviously a religious man, right? You know, and he has no problem with Mike and his stated beliefs. Has no problem with me. He's always been very nice to me. You know, he's never tried to convert me. He's never tried to convince me, you know, of his version of God. You know, we all believe it. We all believe or not believe as is our way, right? But he absolutely blasted the Crawford Browns and the this whole cult thing. Apparently in a sermon that he had in his church. Apparently a whole bunch of them got up and walked out and whatever. You know what? Good for him. Good for him. I will say this. The tenser this gets, it's not a lot of fun to live here at the moment because you never know. You always have this feeling that people are staring at you, you know. People are, oh, what's he doing, you know, evil American or whatever, you know what I mean? I know when I go into the shop or when I go into the store, you know, the people that I deal with on a regular basis are great, you know, as most people are in this area, but there's always those people who I believe are probably members of this organization who will stare at you, you know, and give you the look. I just give it right back to them. So, you know, but anyway. So we are down here on Field 1. Going to spread some muck, not on the road. Me and my big clumsy hands. We're going to spread it on this field. Hopefully I have enough. I don't know if I have enough or not. As you can see, the field, the soil moisture is not awful. I'd like to keep it that way. So, I was going to have Courseplay do this, but I decided to just do it myself. I think it'll be easier in the long run. So, all right. Well, here we go. I do want to set some cruise control, though, but I think 5 is going to be too slow. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll do that, and we'll do that. Oop, no, stop. Stop, stop. What did I not do? Oh, I'm not on the right thing. I forgot I put a weight on this, so let's try to shift. There we go. Okay, now we can do this. And now we can do this. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, this is a pretty good sized field. I don't know if I'm going to have enough or not. Probably not. But I'd really like to keep the soil moisture up as high as I can, especially for the barley. You know, I'm not so worried about the wheat, and I'm not worried at all about the soy. They're fairly drought resistant. But the barley and the sugar beets and probably the potatoes are really going to require some, you know, some sort of extra attention, I believe. So, but we'll see. Not to dwell on, you know, this whole organization, cult, whatever you want to call it. But having a talk with Sean Blaylock, apparently his wife had a run-in with Mrs. Crawford Brown not too long ago, and it didn't go well, apparently, from what I understand. You know, it's the 21st century. If you have kids, you know, and you're not married, what's the big deal? You know, I don't talk a whole bunch about myself, about my personal sort of life before I came to the UK, you know, but, you know, I have 2 children. Neither one of them were born in wedlock, you know what I mean? They were born with people who I was serious with at the time, you know, and things just didn't work out or whatever. I don't know that I'm the marrying kind anyway, you know. I don't know that, you know. I've never really felt the need to rush off and get married. And people who get married, that's awesome, you know what I mean? Certainly, you know, good for you and everything. But again, you know, your own beliefs, right? And I don't believe it's anybody's business to tell you how you should live your life or to tell you, you know, that you're doing it wrong. So, you know, good for Sean's wife for kind of speaking up and, you know, putting Mrs. Crawford Brown in her place. Of course, you know, she's a stubborn woman and she's not, you know, she's not going to listen regardless. But, you know, this whole situation is getting very tense. And at some point, you know, some action is going to need to be taken. What that action is, I don't know yet. But I know that I have been shadowed by the Old Ridge police a couple of times, and I am not saying anything bad about the Old Ridge police. They're great, you know. You know, they've always been friendly to me and everything. I believe there may be some sort of, you know, I know I was moving the Ford from one area to another, and one of the Old Ridge police kind of followed me. You know, he didn't say anything, didn't turn on his lights, didn't pull me over, didn't do anything about it. You know, but there may be some pressure there from the council, and of course that, you know, means from Mrs. Crawford Brown ultimately. You know, and so the Ford may have to go away. You know, sooner rather than later. So I've had a couple of talks with a guy called Ian Blake, a farmer from a little ways from here. And he's expressed some interest in picking up the Ford, you know, so we may have to have a talk with him. Now, where am I going? Am I really just going to drive in a big circle around this field? I apparently am. Geez, BP, can you pay attention? The exit's right here. Soil compaction, right? I'm always talking about it. Oh, I need to move that seat tender too. Oh, not reverse. But yeah, so he's expressed some interest in maybe picking up the Ford, and he's also I guess apparently he's got a John Deere, a newer one. He's got that he's not using at the moment, so we may go have a look at that. So, I'm going the absolute longest way around to get to the dairy, aren't I? Oh well, that's fine. It is Lag City over here, huh? I'm not quite sure why, but oh well. You know, again, it's one of those things. I have determined, I did say in a previous episode, and I actually commented on one of Mike's videos, that it might be that sprayer, but I don't think it is, because I've moved that sprayer around. It sounds silly, but one quick way to test if something is lagging or not is to move it to different areas of the map. And if you always get the lag in the same area, then you take the mod out of the mod folder and you go back to that area. And if it's still doing it, then you know it's not that piece of equipment. And that's what I did. And it's just in this area for some reason, you know, and again, this is the first time I'm playing the game today, so it's always something, you know, there's a lot of scripts that have to load, there's a lot of, you know, things, I have a lot of things going on the map now, so, you know, it could be any number of those things. I think I'll just go this way, you know, and it's not horrible, I can live with it, so whatever. Wow, could I go any further out of my way to get to the dairy farm? Got a couple of additions to the map too that I want to show you guys after this is done. You know, obviously still need to plant potatoes, but I really wanted to get the muck down on this barley as quickly as possible. So everything is planted now except for the potatoes, so it's not so much of a massive rush. I don't think I'm going to have enough to finish this field. I doubt very much that I did. I may, but I doubt it. Or apparently not at all. Wow. I went through that a lot quicker than I expected to. Gonna have to get this out of the way and then move this conveyor into my other pile of muck here. Wow, that went a lot quicker than I really expected it to. I never have enough muck. Never, 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 never. I don't know. You know, I go through it so fast that I seem like I can never get enough, no matter what I do. So let's, this only got 8,000 liters in it. There's no way. I do have some slurry left. I will probably have to finish this up with slurry, I guess. This thing is not the easiest thing in the world to move on this hitch either, but okay. Hopefully that will work. I don't know if this thing will even pick it up. I haven't tried it with one of these piles since the update, or since the, I guess, it's not really an update. It's sort of the fix of the placeable piles. So we will find out if this even works or not. And I left this in a horrible spot. I should have swung that. I should have swung that top part of the conveyor over. Oh well. I guess we can finish off what little bit I've got here. I know the animals probably need to be mucked out again. The pig and the beef probably need to be mucked out. But again, you know, I could probably just use the slurry for that. I would like very much to get it on the grass, you know, but I got to kind of pick my battles here, I think. So, okay, that's full. Now, getting it out of here is going to be a trick. Gonna have to, well, we'll do this. We'll back up. Make it easy for yourself, BP. Back up where you have room to back up. This is a pretty long piece of equipment. It doesn't like to back up very well, so, you know, the wheels being right at the back make it a little tricky to back it up. But then again, everything, you know, I can't back anything up, so this should be no real exception. We'll go spread this, I guess, and see how far this gets us, and then we'll come back and grab the slurry tanker, I suppose. I do have a little bit of slurry left, so Still got the silage bales in the field. That's fine. They can just hang out. They're not. It's not going to hurt them to hang out in the field. They're all wrapped and everything. They can just ferment right out there. I'll get to them when I can. You know, a couple of right now. The priority is to get this field mucked. We're going to need to spread herbicide on everything. Pretty sure it's BB. I'm going to check. I don't remember. I need to. You know what I need? I need a little book. With all this stuff in it, right, that I can just leave in the tractor and say, okay, well, I need this, you know, this takes this, and I need to spray this and this. So I was also having a thought about, you know, obviously in real life, when you spray stuff, it's not called AA or BB or CC or whatever, right? You know, it's Roundup or anything, or, you know, stuff like that. I was having a thought about maybe seeing if I could alter the names. I don't know if it would screw it up or not, you know, just for my personal use, obviously. But just, you know, having a thought about that, to alter the names, to call it, you know, Roundup and things like that. I just thought that would be neat. But it's something I'll take a look at. You know, I don't want to break Soil Mod, obviously, and I obviously don't want to, you know, the person who created Soil Mod did such a great job with it, I don't want to screw it up, so. All right. I think we might be able to get maybe halfway across this field, maybe. I don't know. Oh. You can see already the soil moisture in this part of the field is very low. You know, sort of, you know, between 40 and 29%. 40 is not bad. You know, anything under about 30 is not great. So if we can keep it sort of here, that would be awesome. Now, obviously, the end level is going to go through the roof because, you know, these fields were all planted with alfalfa and then, you know, mulched and then turned in and then, you know, spread with muck and then plowed. So there is just a ton of N on these fields, but that's okay. Just so long as the soil moisture does not go, you know, down into the zeros. Otherwise, I may not be able to harvest this field. It may just turn into a field of junk, you know what I mean? That'll just have to be plowed back into the ground again. And, you know, just keep hoping for rain, you know, just keep hoping that at some point we get some significant rain. Probably should do a check on the animals too. I know the pig and the beef don't need much. You know, it doesn't take them. It takes them a long time to go through the stuff they have. So I've got a few animals to sell, but I kind of want to let them build up. I think. You know, no sense bringing them down piecemeal. I'd like to get a full pen of them before I sell them. Gonna have to figure out this muck situation. Not quite sure how I'm gonna end up getting more muck, but I need more. The only way to really get it is to have more animals, and I've got quite a few animals now, so I'm not really sure. I always run out. I never ever have enough, so. You know, Mike's got a big dairy and a big, you know, cattle operation, and he's got, you know, muck for days, and I suppose, you know, worst comes to worst, I'll go down and get some from him again. You know, he's always been very gracious about letting me use some of his, you know, because he's got so much of it. But I could never seem to get enough. Now, obviously, we won't be working this in. You know, this will just sit on top of the crop. The crop will grow up through it, you know, and it'll eventually sort of, you know, dissipate into the ground. But I really want to slurry these fields, and I don't. Well, you know, the meadows. I mean, the good thing about the meadows is they're very small, so it won't take a whole bunch to do. All right, and that's that. Now I'm right smack in the middle of the field, so I've got to drive across the field. Don't have any choice. But yeah, the meadows are really small, so they don't take a whole lot of slurry to do, which is good. So I'll probably go down. We'll hook up the slurry tank or fill it up. Hopefully fill it up. Hopefully I have enough to fill it up. I think I do. And then we'll come down and finish this bit with the slurry. If I hadn't wasted all that right there. And you can see, you know, the switch is, you can obviously keybind everything in these tractors, you know, on the joysticks and everything. And I was reaching over for something, probably my cigarettes or whatever, and I bumped the top left button there, and that just kicked it off and opened up the gate and turned it on. I was like, no, 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 stop, 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 stop. So. I got to find out what kind of herbicide sugar beets like too, because obviously I need to spread herbicide on those too. Probably this episode, what I'm going to really focus on is getting the muck down on Field 1, getting that done. And then maybe we will, if there's enough slurry left, go around and slurry all the meadows, because I cannot have those meadows go down into the shape that they were in last year. That was just awful. You know, I was getting hardly any grass off them. I need to keep them up. And then in the next episode, even though I said this in the last episode, we'll be planting the potatoes, because that'll really be the last thing that needs to be done. I also want to show you a couple of additions that I made to the map, and I need to bring some stuff down to one of them, so. Big secret, BP. It's not really, but I need to move this conveyor too now. Now that it's empty, I need to move it, so. Excuse me. And if you guys, you know, obviously you may be aware of this because I've said this in a couple episodes now. I have the worst toothache. I've had a toothache for about 2 weeks now. I can't afford to go to the dentist, you know, because for me to go to the dentist probably costs about $5,000. I don't have that kind of money, you know, obviously. But so I've just been dousing it with clove oil. If you guys know what clove oil is, it's basically just ground up cloves. You know, the things you stick in your ham for Christmas. And it's a huge pain relief. I mean, it is the greatest pain relief I've ever felt in my life. But the reverse of that is it screws up my stomach because it's so powerful, you know. Kind of makes me sick to my stomach and everything. So the last couple days I just haven't felt like talking, you know. You know, I did make a video, you know, yesterday you guys saw a little sort of vignette thing on the MIG map, you know, which is one of my favorite maps, going back to Farming Simulator 13, you know. It's a little big for a Let's Play series, especially a solo Let's Play series, you know. But it is fun to just do vignette stuff on. So I figured, you know what? I don't really want to talk because my mouth hurts so bad. But I will, I got to make some kind of video. Well, I don't got to. I just wanted to, you know. Oh, you know what I just realized? What happened to my shed? I did make some changes to the map, and apparently I must have deleted something that was part of a transform group. Wow, that's not good. Come up with a story. Why did that shed go away? Oh yeah, the foundation was rotten and it fell down, and I had to tear it. I had to tear it down. Let's try that. Oh, I need to put another shed up there because I like that shed where it was. That's weird. That happens sometimes when you mess with, you know, Giants Editor, and you've got a bunch of stuff in a transform group, and you're like, oh, I don't need that anymore, so I'll delete it. And you forget to take it out of the transform group, and it deletes, you know, all the sheds that are in that group. So my own fault, you know, noob mistake. So all right, let's go see if we can get this this field done, field 1 done, and then we'll try to do the meadows. Although I guess if I'm going to do the meadows, I'm going to have to move the bales. Don't want to spread muck all over my bales. So, okay. So once again, change of plans. I guess we'll finish this. We'll grab the Flegel. We'll go pick up the bales. And then if this episode doesn't stretch out too long, we'll go and spread slurry on the meadows. So. Then the next episode, we'll be spraying herbicide and planting potatoes. You know, it's funny. It's cloudy, right? Well, it's partly cloudy today. Well, this is what they consider partly cloudy. It looks pretty cloudy to me, but, you know, anytime it gets cloudy, you're always like, oh, is it going to rain? Is it going to rain? Is it going to rain? You check the forecast, you know, and there's no hint of rain in the forecast. So, okay, you know, again, it is what it is. There's not a whole lot we can do about it, so. You and you. Now, I doubt very much, because this thing only holds 9,319 liters, so I doubt very much we're going to get all the way around the rest of this field. I think I had about 46,000 liters left, so I think it's going to take about 30,000 or 25,000 to do the meadows. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Something's going to have to give. I don't know what that something's going to be, but... You know, the thing is, you hate to lose the yield because it's so expensive to plant. You know, between the labor, between the diesel, between the maintenance on the tractors, between the seed. You know, you hate to lose yield. And you know, right now we're just kind of desperate, doing anything we can to keep the yield, you know, at a reasonable amount. So I'm gonna have to balance all this N with some more PK though. Which is fine. Liquid PK, I'll put it down, you know, that'll be more liquid. So, you know, I can't bomb it. I can't do it all at once, obviously, but I will, you know, once the herbicide goes down, the next day we'll put down some PK. So, if I didn't have quite so much overlap, I'd probably make this slurry go a lot further. I thought about maybe getting a bigger slurry tanker, but you know what? I don't really need it. You know, it's not. There's nothing. None of my land is so far away from, say, the dairy that it's too inconvenient to drive back and forth all the time. You know, it's not great, but it's not awful either. So now, use your head and go out the nearest entrance. You're not driving all the way across the field. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go down the footpath, which I certainly can. I just have to be careful to make sure there's nobody walking on it. So usually during the week, you know, as you can see, it's Friday. During the week, you don't get a lot of people. You know, you get the occasional person. What's been happening now, especially, you know, you see this in the spring and obviously in the fall, come harvest time, or late summer. Come harvest time, you get a lot of people videoing, you know, which is great. You know, it's kind of fun to see yourself on YouTube, right? You know, you know, somebody will point it out, hey, you know, BP, or hey, you know, Mike, or hey, Sean, or you know, or the Major, or whatever. Especially the Major, because he's got a big operation. So you know, and Justin too. You know, Justin's popped up on YouTube a couple of times, which is really cool. You know, so you know, people tend to kind of. It's funny because they tend to kind of go to the same places every year. So I know Mike has especially when he's planting or plowing or harvesting, he will have a line of people down on his, you know, on whatever field they feel like they want to watch. And there'll be a line of people in the hedge, you know, just videoing him and, you know, and his hands, you know. And now they've started to come down and video my stuff, which is great, you know. I certainly have no problem. Now the only thing I ask is please don't make a mess. You know, if you have any trash or anything, please, you know, bring it with you when you leave. And you know, if you smoke or whatever, please don't throw cigarette butts in my fields. Other than that, you know, I certainly welcome, you know, you guys to come down. And you know, I've taken people on cab rides so they can video, you know, as long as it's safe and everything. So you know, I certainly have no problem, you know. And everybody's real nice. They're not standing in the middle of the field in the way, slowing the process down, you know. I'm just glad that, you know, people are interested in farming. You know, we need more farmers in the world. The world is, you know, expanding, you know, exponentially, right? You know, the population, and we need to feed them. You know, we need more farmers. So I'm so tempted to take that hedge down right there, but I can't. I don't want to start making the, you know, this is a quintessential, and I said that word wrong, British farm, you know what I mean? And I don't want to make it a not British farm because I'm an American and because hedges are inconvenient, you know what I mean? That's not what I want to do. So 41,680 is that going to be well, it'll be enough to finish this field. Will it be enough to slurry the other two? I hope. We'll find out. Or the other three, I should say. I need to get down and do my least favorite job in the world. Obviously, the slurry pit is underground, and there's an intake, and then the discharge through the pump. And every so often, you've got to go down in there and you've got to clean that intake out because stuff gets into it. You know, even though you keep it covered, you know, still stuff sometimes falls in there. Occasionally, you'll get a dead animal that'll get stuck in there. You know what I mean? And block the pipe. It's a pretty good sized pipe, but You know, sometimes you'll have to pull a big, dead, half-rotten, bloated, you know, squirrel or rabbit or badger or whatever out of there. You know, I noticed that the discharge rate is not as good as it should be, so I'm going to need to get down there and clean that out. That's such a gross job. It's so disgusting. I mean, I don't actually get in the pit, you know what I mean? Because that's, first of all, a massive health hazard, right? Plus, it's just gross, and you'll never get that smell off you. Basically, what I do is I'll put well, basically a rope on the end of the telehandler and kind of lower myself down, you know, lower the forks down as low as I can, lower myself down to the discharge pipe and just kind of sweep it out with a broom. So it's kind of how it works, you know. It's a disgusting job, but somebody's got to do it. So. And jobs like that, I don't ask my hands to do because I don't think that's fair. You know, that's the kind of job that, okay, you know, that's something I probably should do because, you know, it's a really nasty job. So, all right, now we should, as I get my hand stuck in my headset cable, we should be able to finish this now. And B, and then, yeah, yep. This will be the last pass. If there's any little bit that I missed, I'm not really going to worry about it too much. That's going to be quite a bit. Jeez, this is where I always go, okay, I'm not worrying about that, but then I'm like, oh, that's quite a bit, and I don't want to, you know, that could be, you know, 3-4 tons of product. You know what I mean? It could be the difference, and I do not want to lose all that yield. So. And obviously, because I'm a massive idiot, I missed this whole area up here, so. Oh, this tractor has GPS. Why don't I ever use it? I swear, you'd think I was, you know, I don't know. I'm not that old. I'm only 47 years old, you know. And obviously, when I started farming, you know, back in America, their GPS and stuff wasn't a thing. You did everything pretty much by hand, you know. And for some reason, I just got stuck with that, and I have not been able to break the habit of doing everything by hand. So, okay, that will do. That will do. All right, let's get off this field, and we'll go grab. Now, 27 minutes. Do I do the slurrying of the meadows on screen? You know what? We'll pick up the bales. We'll go get the bales at least, because you guys have seen me slurry a bunch of times, you know, and it's kind of repetitive, and I get it, you know, and now that we're in, you know, episode 68 here, and we're sort of doing the same things over and over again, you know, and I'm not worrying about making it interesting, you know, because it's farming, and it's only ever going to be so interesting anyway, and it is a lot of repetitive stuff, but, you know, I am trying to make it, you know, make it fun at least, so. I just know that it would be nice to have some good news in the parish, you know, after Justin's wedding, which was, you know, awesome, and it was wonderful, and, you know, and it almost looked like the Crawford Browns, and I should say it's not Mr. Crawford Brown, it's definitely Mrs. Counselor Crawford Brown, you know, because I think Mr. Crawford Brown is kind of hanging his head a little bit, you know, A, over the affair, and B, over his wife's just, you know, complete lunacy lately. You know, you don't see him much anymore, and when you do, he's not. He's kind of a harried little man anyway, you know, but he's definitely not, he's not talkative, you know, he doesn't really want to talk, he's not, I don't know, you know, and I can understand the pressure he must be under, so. Okay, so, well, since I parked everything over there, I need to park something on this side, so. But, you know, Justin's wedding was a great thing for the parish, you know, everybody had a good time, and and it was happy, and, you know, and it looked like the Crawford Browns had sort of turned a corner, you know, with him, thanks to Mike, you know, kind of getting him to come to the wedding, and, you know, and everything, and it was civil, and they looked like they had a fairly good time as I take out my conveyor. But then this started, and, you know, and I don't know, that the atmosphere in the parish is just, it's so tense, it's tough, you know, and I would like to see, we need some good news, so. What might be nice is if it rained. I swear if it rained, we'd have a massive party, you know. everybody would get together down at the pub, and we just all stand out in the rain and, you know, have a few drinks and, you know, cook some food and just have a big party to kind of celebrate the rain. So, okay, now I need to take the sides off of this again. I got to remember how to do this. So much new stuff on this now. Toggle next product type. X. Nope, not sapling pallets. Nope. 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 Silage additive tanks. Oh, for the Mangala. That's cool. Wow. Viable blades for the Mangala. B&M modding pallets. I don't know what that means. Consumption goods. Still don't know what that means. Egg pallets. Greenhouse pallets. Milk. Jeez, there is so much stuff. So much stuff in these now. Can we get to just my bales? Standard silage round bale. That's what I want. Oh, these aren't silage yet, though. So it's going to screw that up. Hence why he put in the previous type. That's awesome. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if that works. There's so much stuff now that he had to put in so you could just scroll back and not have to scroll all the way through it again. I mean, that's really cool, and it's awesome that these things do all that, you know? Now, I could bring the telehandler over here and pick them up, but you know what? As we're into 31 minutes of this video, I think I'll just auto-load these this time. Next time, maybe for the straw bales, because I plan on doing all the fields in straw. So probably the next time we will, when we do straw, I'll actually load them myself, because I really want to do that. So, okay. Start. Oh, yeah, still B. Still B. Are these not... Really? Are these not grass bales? They can't be silage bales yet. Or do I just not have the right thing? They can't be silage bales yet. No, they're only 3.2% fermented, so they are grass bales. What am I missing here? Well, I guess what we'll do is we will... try that again? Nope. Let's... Is it X? X. Let's see what we can get. Standard silage round bale. Okay, we'll try that. Okay. Well, I guess as long as they're wrapped, the trailer thinks they're silage, which is fine. No worries with that. So, okay, let's stop that because otherwise it'll yell at me when I go too fast to go to the next meadow. Now, this video might turn out to be a little long, but you know what? I haven't made an Old Ridge video in 5 days, so, you know, I'll give you guys a little bit of a longer one. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Wow, I'm getting so much lag, but you know what? I believe... I was reading up about Windows 10. Windows 10 has a memory leak issue. There has been a couple of updates that have apparently fixed it, and I've noticed that it has, because there's been times when I've not even been doing anything on the computer. Nothing. Not watching a video, not playing a game, not doing anything. And all of a sudden my memory will spike up to, you know, 80, 90%. And I'm like, whoa, what's up with that? You know, that's not good. But since a couple of updates ago, they seem to have fixed that problem, so... But I do believe that Windows 10 does a lot more stuff in the background than Windows 8 or Windows 7 ever did, so... You know, I'm old school and everything, but Windows 7 was really the gaming platform, I think. You know, and I know they're advertising Windows 10 as a gaming platform too, but I don't think it's quite there yet. There we go. That took no time whatsoever. Took more time to get in the field than it did to pick up the bale, so... You know, that's the other reason why I want to kind of pick them up by hand, because it's just, you know, obviously this is completely unrealistic. There's nothing in the world that will just teleport bales from a field onto a trailer, so, you know, not like this anyway. There are obviously auto-loading trailers, but this is very handy, especially if you've got a lot of bales to do. Got to figure out some way to move these. I'm gonna have to use that grab. Now, hopefully the grab that came with that CZ Mod Passion set is better than the standard grab, because the standard grab is not great. Of course, it could just be me. I could just be a massive idiot and don't know how to use it, you know, because obviously that's not really something that I've ever done in real life. So, you know, I don't think I've ever moved a silage bale. Well, I know I've never moved a silage bale. So, okay, turn that off. How many did we end up with altogether? 13. You know what? That's not awful. That is not awful at all. So, thumbnail? Yeah, thumbnail. Why not? Let's do a thumbnail here. Let's go Alt H. And let's do, that view's kind of pretty, right? I mean, it's cloudy and everything, but it's not bad. So we'll do that. And I will turn those off. I will turn the tractor off. And I will say, there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, let me know what you think about the videos. You know, anything you guys want to leave me, any comments, any questions, any concerns, anything like that, you're more than welcome to leave it in the comment section. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Steam. You know, hit me up on Twitter. All those links to everything are in the description of every video. Thank you so much, guys, for everything. You know, obviously we've hit 2,000 subscribers now. It's amazing. You know what I mean? It means so much to me. You know, you guys coming and liking the videos and hanging out and commenting and doing all the stuff that you guys do on a regular basis is the reason why I keep doing this. You know what I mean? I enjoy it so much. It's so much fun that we have built a real live active community here. And don't worry, the 2,000 subscriber shout out video is coming. I'm just trying to figure out the way that I want to do it. Flight sim is a no-go. Flight sim's way too sort of buggy and unstable and everything to try to do a video of it and do other things at the same time. It's too bad, you know, and it's partly my computer, it's partly flight sim. So but I am going to figure out a way to do it, and you guys will have your shout outs, you know what I mean, because you all absolutely deserve it. So I can't shout out all 2,005 of you now, I think it is, but you know, just know that every single one of you are important to me. I consider all of you friends, and thank you so much for coming to my pokey little channel and making it our pokey little channel, and I'm glad you guys enjoy it. And as always, thank you so much for making me a part of your YouTube day, and this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.